Welcome to BarCast. I'm Mark. I'm with my co-creator, Chris. Welcome to our bar chat. It's our first ever. I'm hoping you are going to enjoy. So, everybody, welcome. This is our first one of the day, and we are just going to introduce what we are likely to be and how we go. I'm going to let my co-creator, Chris, talk for a bit.
So, hello everyone. I hope you are well. So, as Mark said, this is our first ever episode, and I'm not going to lie, I am very excited to see what we're going to be doing. Because, to be honest, we're not sure ourselves yet.
Nope.
So, we've decided to do a podcast series simply because we really like discussing a whole variety of things, and having a podcast series to do that will allow us to talk more in depth without giving you really lengthy discussion videos, which you might not want to watch all the way through. But a podcast for the car, much more acceptable.
Oh, indeed. Who doesn't love a good conversation or something just to pass the time?
Exactly. We'll be discussing a whole bunch of things. Not gonna lie, I will be talking a lot about food because during the lockdown, I have been testing a load of recipes whilst the restaurants have been closed.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good, actually.
exactly. Yeah. I'm still trying to find the right fried chicken recipe because I myself I'm not particularly good at frying stuff.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
quite clumsy, so I'm terrified of spilling oil everywhere.
So what type of spices do you use? Do you go more like with a bit of spice for like spiciness or spice for a taste?
Uh, I- well, for me, all spice has taste.
Hmm.
I'm a spice monster. Um, but I generally go for like a medium sort of spice. I quite like it peppery and herby,
Ah, okay, yeah, quite natural.
and I quite like a nice crunch on the skin, but a really juicy meat.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and
That's good.
generally I go for thigh meat. Chicken thighs are generally the best um, meat for like fried meat. It just
Oh,
tastes.
I would have thought like some of the breast meat would have been better for that, but
Yeah, you'd think breasts, but breasts are generally quicker to dry out.
Oh, I guess yeah, I see.
So you got to be really wary about that. Although breast is good if you just want to like dip and eat and not really pay attention. No chance of choking on the bones. But I'm a thigh meat sort of guy.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I mean, like you could probably do some lovely like side dishes with that as well. Like, if you wanted potato salad or like something like coleslaw.
Yeah. I'm not much of a coleslaw guy myself, but I do some salads. Haven't done a potato salad yet, which is peculiar. Most of my sides lately have been tray bakes. Um,
Oh, okay.
just like slicing up veg and just throwing them on a pan. Oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, just and
Well,
it's
that's usually quite a better way of doing it because at the end of the day, you can always follow a recipe, but making your own is so much better. Plus, everything came from an experiment, as we all know.
exactly. And then you can always like tamper with it as you go.
Yeah, because I was watching a video. What someone did, it was like they cooked a banana in the oven with the skin still. They carved it out, put it in a blender, put milk in, blended that, poured it into a cup, and then refrigerated. And then afterwards, you could eat it almost like a nice pudding, and you could put anything like a syrup on board. But all it was like cook a banana, obviously peel it, put the insides in the blender, bit of milk, let it refrigerate, and then it's almost like one of those caramel
Yeah,
dessert things, caramel things you used to get.
yeah, but basic dessert pots.
Mm.
There's
And I just thought
always
like that was quite an interesting design. Like all it was literally cooked banana, bit of milk, leave it in so it falls. Obviously, get the right mixture and quantity so it does set.
yeah, so it's not too thick, it's not too thin.
Hmm.
Got the right level of creaminess.
Yeah.
And you can always add like a couple of other things. You could probably add something like cinnamon to that to like
Hmm.
give it a different taste.
Or you never know, pop rocks if someone fancies the little tangle.
Oh yeah, pop rocks. Oh, they're just a ball of fun. They are.
Oh, they are indeed. I mean, who doesn't love Pop Rocks? At the end of the day, you put them in and you get the crackling sound in your mouth, and it's the sensation.
Young children, I find, generally aren't a fan because they don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? What's happening? What's happening?
But no, I mean, it works on so many things. Like any dessert or anything you could think of, you could use it. And I mean, there's some ice creams you get that have got stuff inside. Imagine putting like those rocks in an ice cream dish, or if you were making like banana split, for example. Going back to talking about bananas, you could always do that way. You could have that, the ice cream, the cream, put a few the rocks on, and then maybe put like strawberries or something on top.
Or, a layer of Baileys.
Oh yeah, you could do that actually.
I mean, this is BarCast. We've got to talk about the alcohol.
Oh, the one really good thing though is if you get hot chocolate and you add rum, any type. If you want Captain Morgan's dark, depending on what you want, but adding something like the rum into a hot chocolate is really nice because it's a nice, warm, refreshing, and the heat really does bring out the rum.
Oh, does it?
I mean, it's like with grog.
I think I've only got whiskey here.
Ah.
That probably won't work as well.
No. Well, actually, it's not to say that you couldn't.
Whiskey warm.
It's not to say you couldn't do it.
No. I like my cognac warm.
I
like my whiskey over rocks. Sorry.
Well, that's quite actually cool, because you can get like these little dice things now. So you don't need ice. So you don't have to all worry about watering down. But put them in the fridge or the freezer, take them out, put them.
Yeah, I've got like plastic fruit shapes.
Oh, nice.
Like a basic bitch.
No, you never know, mate. You can always make cocktails with those ones.
Exactly, they're like little pineapples and flamingos, for some reason cacti. Like, I can understand the flamingos, but cacti, because it's hot.
Oh, yeah, desert and all that, maybe like these. Sahara and
it's got like
Mojave.
Fruit wedges, that makes sense because you generally get a lot of like citrus and watermelon.
Unless that's what they make the little umbrellas out of, cactus needles. You never know. It might be. They might have never had like these little twigs. They might have right. What should we use? Oh, a cactus needle with a little bit of thing.
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine.
Yeah, we have to start somewhere. I mean, if you're going to have a business and you've got a cactus farm, why not?
Yeah, it sounds a bit more like a Minecraft adventure. Right.
Oh, I mean, actually, yeah, that was the currency. The currency today, we have got cactus needles.
You can either buy cactus needles or sticks. Two
I'm going to go with the opposite. Huh? Always going to go with the first one. Sounds better than the latter.
Yeah, it does. So, yeah.
So the idea, though, is going back to talking about drinks. Obviously, there are many types you can do. When I travelled, the first one that I had with a hot chocolate with rum was in Prague. I went out visiting there, had a few drinks, and it never came to me, literally, of having rum in hot chocolate. It was the first thing I saw, and I thought, well, why not? Try it. Fair enough, it was like around 10 in the morning, but it was quite good. You never know what might happen. But when I was thinking of that, if you can think of adding rum to like hot chocolate, and obviously you've got an Irish coffee, for example, you never know what you might have. But as it is our introduction to the show, there are other things we are going to be talking about apart from drinking. Obviously, if you've ever watched our intro, we always did talk about we were going to discuss rival events, where myself, I'm always going to pick a team, and then obviously my co-creator being Chris, he's going to pick another team. Now we would do versus. So obviously we could use any logic we want. If he has more knowledge on his category or then about mine, we are just going to have a discussion about it. It doesn't always have to be fact. Sometimes it could be like fiction. For example, let's say Marvel, I might know something about a weakness of one of his characters, he might know of mine that I don't know. And then we'd have to try, or how would someone counter that weakness, or who would someone stand a chance? We just don't know. But that's the thing, it is a discussion, and that's something you would talk about in a bar. Maybe not all of you, but it would be one thing.
We certainly talk about that things when we have a drink.
Oh,
Quite
of course.
often, our conversations are during a night out do somehow get on to comics or manga or movies or Marvel or DC. It's pretty much the standard topic of conversation for us.
Oh, yeah.
And we also talk a lot about video games. If you have caught our third video on our YouTube, which will, if you should check it out. Mark will be playing video games on our channel.
And we've also obviously got singing. I mean, obviously, Chris is the singer. He's going to be doing singing videos, some of the stuff that he likes, inspirations. And you never know, if Chris ever wanted to, he could always give some people inspiration or motivational videos.
I mean, it would be worth a shot.
And the thing is, oh, sorry, you were going?
Speak of motivational videos, I was actually motivated during my Twitch stream a couple weeks ago. I believe it was the one I did on Thursday, the 25th of June. I had a couple of viewers on, and they pretty much said that they listened to when I was uploading regular on my main channel. They listened to what I was doing, and they would always talk about it. And I had stopped, and they were upset about that. And honestly, I thought it was only me that gave a damn. But just because they gave a damn, that's motivated me to start doing more. And it's because of them that we're pushing more and we want to get more content out.
Oh, of course.
People like them are exactly who we need. So just finding motivation wherever you can is really good.
Yeah, we all have to start somewhere. And obviously, motivation is a key bit. Everyone needs it. I mean, you're going to have your darkest days, but it's not going to last forever.
No. I mean, everyone has a starting point, and I think I would like to use this podcast, this time now, to talk about how bar chats and BarCast, basically how we came to be.
Yeah.
It was the first idea of bar chats was about 2.5 years ago. I was still living at home with my parents, and it was after an open mic. Back then, Mark had driven us to the event in Canterbury. We had just dropped off Scott. We dropped him off home, and Mark pulled up outside mine. We just had a general conversation about our YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, we always used to have conversations all the time, and it's like half the time. Well, you all know if you've driven or ever driven in one of your friends' cars, some conversations you have in the car is not what you have anywhere else, and you get more ideas, and it's not what you thought of or you're not thinking at the time. It's just coming out naturally. So obviously, we were enjoying our conversations, and some ideas or anything we came up with, even things that we thought might be stupid, we always would have talked about. And half the time when you do talk about something, it doesn't sound as stupid as it might do in your head, because someone else might be saying, I see your point. You could do this, this, and this. And then we got the idea of half the time, then we started playing games. So the main thing, that's where the verse stuff coming up. We thought, all right, what if one guy could control all the machines on the world, and what if one can control all the animals? And then it was a rivalry between, well, what about the insects? What does that come under? Unfortunately, I lost that to obviously the animals, but who do you know? Technology, I can make my own.
Yeah, so after a while, we, as Mark said, we had loads of these conversations in the car, and one just stuck up with me, with us, we could start our own channel. And, we talked about it, and, we got really into this idea. And then life just got in the way and we couldn't plan anything for like 10
Mm.
months. It wasn't until like late the following year till we actually was able to sit down and talk about it again.
Oh,
And then we had the first meeting on it and we discussed, yeah, that'd be really good. We could do this, we could do that, we could have all the topics that Mark has mentioned already and what I've mentioned. And then it took until the spring of last year before we got our introduction video done. And I'm so ashamed it took so long, but life got in the way. I was singing more. Mark was working his butt off with
yeah.
his job. Some personal stuff took into play as well, where mental health days we needed some. And again, it took about a year before
Mm.
the 2 videos we did last month.
Mm.
But we have started, and the basis of this channel is just random conversations we can have. And
I
then and then we had to find the name.
Oh, the name was so much fun. It's well, we've always been in a bar and we always chat. So, and to be honest, a bar you've got so much freedom in, as much as people don't think so, and you could have so much. Like, if you think about it, where obviously I'm the gamer and Chris is the singer. If you think about it, in bars you've got arcades, you've got performances, juice boxes, you've got dance
Karaoke's.
floors. Oh yeah, all that as well. But you've got so much, and then you've also got food as well because bars do serve food. So bar chats became what it was because it can contain so much culture into one, and it's about having fun. A bar's not there to be serious. Like, sure, you might have a meeting down in a bar at one point, but then you go for drinks and you chill out, and it's somewhere for you to relax. And that's the idea of our channel. It's somewhere for people to relax, enjoy, and if there is ever content anyone wants us to talk about or they think it might be interesting for us, we're always happy to listen to your feedback and talk about it. So say we did another like versus challenge at some point or on one of our other podcasts. It might be that you might say, all right, this upcoming movie's coming out, let's say Black Widow. It could be I take the Taskmaster, Chris takes Black Widow, and then we have, well, let's see who is going to win, and we can throw in our own content into that as well.
Exactly. I mean, I would have to do a bit of looking up into it because I haven't actually been up to date with the Marvel stuff that's happening. I've been a bit far behind. You think with lockdown I'd have more time, but I've purposely given myself less time doing other things and planning. But that would be something I would be so happy to look into because it's work for me and it's also something I enjoy looking at. I've watched all the Marvel series. I've watched a good portion of DC now. I've been, trying to catch up with that, when I need a bit of downtime to recharge because, keeping your mental state happy is really important.
Oh, of course.
Fun for yourselves. But that sort of thing has been really important. But if you want us to discuss it, you can leave a comment, you can tweet us direct, or you can message us on our Instagrams, or you can just use the hashtag CMBarChats.
Oh yeah.
Mark and I keep an eye on that, and if you want anything you want us to discuss, or you can even use hashtag BarCast if you want it particularly on our podcast. And we will include it into our podcast series.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Twitter is a platform to talk to us, and it's where we can also talk to you guys. I mean, I'm always going to try and tweet any news that I find out about games or new games that I'm playing, some of them which are old. So any old game I've got. So, for example, obviously Saints Row, the third, basically got a remaster. Lately I've been playing that and had a blast.
Oh, really? What's that like?
Oh, it's such a fun game because obviously the graphics been updated and it contains all the DLC, so you wouldn't have to worry about buying this or putting credit on your account or anything to buy it. But obviously, taking place from the second, you move over where you've become a big brand. So you're no longer just a normal gang, but you're coming into high life. Eventually, you go in, raid somewhere where you shouldn't have. Turns out it's somebody else. You get captured, and you're moving on to a new city. Not willingly, you're mainly falling out of the sky with cars, guns, bullets, and bodies. And the best thing is, it's just so much fun. The dialogue you can have, there's even a voice where you could just have a zombie voice. So you've got the normal British, like very Londony British. You've got the American. You've also then got a zombie voice. It's like, and it's just, if you imagine like going against a gang that's treating it serious and your character is just doing a zombie voice.
What is this guy talking about? I don't know. I mean, who
Oh,
are
but
you,
it's
good
just,
sir?
so funny.
Oh my god, that would... Oh my goodness.
But if you imagine you're having a serious conversation and that's what they talk, but then someone else be like, yeah, boss, I agree with that. It's like, hold on, how did you understand what he was saying when I don't understand what he's saying?
So it's a bit like how everyone in the Guardians of the Galaxy will understand Groot, but everyone else
Oh,
just hears, I am Groot.
oh yeah, actually, that's fair. Actually, comparison. Actually, I did not think of that.
I mean, if you've seen the end of like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, like everyone on the ship understands that. And Thor also understands it because he speaks it because they had one of his kind as a representative on Asgard.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly from that one-off line in Infinity War.
yeah, that was it.
When
Yeah.
he comes to Earth and Thor introduces him to Steve Rogers, he goes, I am Groot. He goes, I am Steve Rogers. Just like...
Oh, it's so good. I love that scene. He just came in, and it was even when he was like a baby Groot, when he was on that starship, and he was like, they got his little jumpsuit, and the whole gang.
It's so cute.
Oh,
I like how Gamora literally just turns into a mother with him.
It sort of reminds me of like where you got Baby Yoda. Obviously, you had Baby Groot, and then Baby Yoda then took over. And it's like, well, and now it's like Teen Groot. So you've now got a teenager that's playing games, but can still kick a whole empire.
I am Groot. Like, he's got such a great sassy voice as well. Just like, I am Groot. Like, so much sarcasm for 3 words.
And obviously you got Rocket as the father. I mean, like you would have thought it would have been Star-Lord.
Yeah,
it kind of is. It's kind of like a joint thing.
They're all kind of his. I think Drax is like the fun uncle for Groot. Like Drax looks after him, but he doesn't take like a parental role. Whereas Rocket and Star-Lord are like the dads, and you got Gamora, the mum, which makes it sound some sort of like weird polyamorous relationship going on.
But yeah, that's like a crew though. Unlike Kenny Split.
It's a proper family crew.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, yeah, Mantis would be like the therapy. The one that.
Yeah, because everyone needs a group therapist.
Oh, they do. I mean, that's half the time what we have, like with conversations. You talk about stuff, and your worries seem like they go away. So that's the best thing. But that's the thing. I mean, you have friends that are so close to like they're basically your second family, or half the time they're even closer than you are to your family.
Exactly. I have to say, over the past couple of years, I've definitely gotten closer to my friend group than I have to my family. And I've sort of adopted like dad or uncle roles. I take like a parental position because I'm like the listener, and I mean, I will talk for Britain sometimes, but not all the time.
That's what you need. You always need someone that can break the ice, break that wall down, and allow people to then build it up if they want to. But we'll just knock it down by letting people open up.
Exactly. I mean, when going to a bar, uh, when I go with my friend Talia, if it's just the two of us, it will quite often come out that we bump into people. I will start the conversation and she will carry it on because honestly, sometimes just being nice to random people in bars when it's a boy girl combo, you don't get any weirdos hitting on either of you because they think, oh god, they're together, in which we're not. But you get to talk to so many different people from so many different walks of lives. And it's
And that's
just
a glorious thing. It's a brilliant thing.
fantastic. I mean, and you can just talk rubbish with them because you're in a bar, and that's
Right.
what and
Bar
that's what this
chats.
channel is pretty much going to be all about. Like we will
Oh,
talk from every walk of life.
oh yeah. And we've each had different experiences throughout life. I mean, there's times you make mistakes and you grow from it. I mean, never
Make mistakes.
treat your past as the worst thing because you grow from that. Me, obviously, very experiences that I've had, I've grown a lot quicker.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
don't
glad that
make
I did.
mistakes, Mark. You make cataclysmic errors.
But I still survive because I've got my good friends behind my back.
You're a survivor,
I'm still standing.
better than you ever did. Looking like a true survivor, playing like a little kid. That,
Ah,
that phrase is always important to get right. Always say playing like and not playing with.
yes, yes. You do not want to cross that line. So
No,
if
we
you're
are
having
not.
karaoke, follow the lyrics. As much as you might like dark humour, follow the lyrics. But no, so speaking about the song though, The Rocket Man was such a good film. If you've never seen it,
Wasn't it?
I
Taron
recommend
Egerton
watching it.
nailed that role.
Mm,
Like, I was obviously it's come out not long after Bohemian Rhapsody with Rami Malek,
mm,
and Rami did a great job. I loved watching Bohemian Rhapsody, but then Rocket Man came out, and
mm.
I think personally, I think Rocket Man was better.
I would say.
As much as I love Bohemian Rhapsody, I just think Rocket Man just killed it, like spot on.
And it all made sense as well from where you could see from the start to the end. We won't say anything. I mean, obviously, it's been out for a while now. I'm sure most of you've seen it. If not, it's fun to watch. It's got humour, it's got drama, and in reality, it is telling the story.
It's got a gay love, which is great. Who doesn't need a bit of gay love?
And it's got the best friendship as well, where you find out.
Yeah.
But I won't spoil anything because obviously
Yeah, it's got
I don't want you guys to get spoiled.
it's
'Cause
got
it's just so good.
it's got two such big, honest friendships, and it also discusses families in like a really nice level, like how some families can be, and just shows some vulnerabilities even the biggest names have.
Mm.
So it hits home so damn well.
Oh yeah, and it gives you food for thought in a way. I'm probably mixing up that saying, but you go out there and you do think about
No,
stuff in a
it
different
is
manner.
it is food for thought.
Ah, okay, yeah, but no, it was just such a good film. I mean, obviously, you never expect us, the ones that watch Marvel, that might see that, but we've watched so many different films, and if people are interested, at one point when cinemas do open again, we might do some reviews. No
Yeah,
spoilers, but
yeah,
we'll just do like an intro and.
yeah, an honest opinion.
Hmm.
I mean, that will definitely be uh, YouTube channel content for us.
Hmm.
'Cause we'll be looking at movies and trailers and one thing Mark and I have in common, which we haven't discussed too much about, is our enjoyment of anime and manga.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
One of our greatest loves.
I think that's actually what got us talk. That was the first bit of common ground we found.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Because I believe I had something from Fairy Tale on me at the time.
Hmm.
or you did. One of us had, or was it you had something one piece?
I think both of us was wearing something related to it. I might have had something related to, not necessarily one piece as such. I think you might have had the one piece. I might have had something else. And then we
No,
did come to conclusion.
I had a fairy tale satchel on me.
Ah, I think I might have had something related to one piece. I couldn't remember what it would be.
What
It
was on
might
your
have been a
wallet?
shirt.
What was
Pardon?
on your wallet?
Um,
Is it you that had the One Piece wallet?
no, not me.
No, oh, someone else
Unless it
did.
was. Oh, I think we met up with someone else that later had a one piece one. Not
Ah,
that night though. Another night.
yeah,
But
we had a pretty good first night where we met,
hmm.
but it was mostly talking about you and Scott, how you two knew each other, and we just, oh,
Oh yeah, it was like a little reunion. It was like,
yeah,
oh right, this I haven't
and we
seen
had
you
a
for
mutual friend
ages.
in Luke
Hmm.
from my primary and your secondary.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah, we had like common ground hit so good. But the
but
best thing ever we had when we did first meet is I don't know if you've ever seen Drake and Josh, any of you, or if you're too young or too old. But there was the loveliest quote ever, which was "Hug me, brother," and literally you're
like, hug
running
me,
up and
brother.
jumping. And this was in a bar. Bear in mind, it wasn't quiet, but it was
No,
literally we just chose to do the line because we got along so well.
yeah, it was like the end of the first night. We both had a good drink.
Mm.
I wouldn't say we were
We
drunk
weren't drying out.
because I was still very coherent.
Mm. I mean, we got the good buzz. We
Yeah,
got the
we got a
good
good
buzz
buzz.
that you get.
We probably had about 4 drinks each at that point, maybe 5.
I think we had a couple of shots as well. I think the shots is what we
Yeah,
had.
we had a couple of Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, Jaeger bombs and I think tequila. Because I remember I had tequila at
You
least.
had tequila. I went for Jaeger because I can't drink tequila as much as I try.
Oh,
Can't.
I can. It's weird because I do it without the salt and the lemon. I mean, the salt and lemon's there to help you more than it is for the
I've
flavour.
tried it with both and I just can't. But I can do Jaeger like a friggin' queen.
But the one thing is, like, tequila is also it's weird at how some people love it, some hate it, and even if you love it, it still doesn't always want to go down because your tongue to be like, oh, because there was
Oh
one.
god, it's not this again, is it?
Yeah, it's like what it's like one thing your taste buds would be like, no, we don't want this. And you're like, well, I want it.
Well, I think my worst reaction to a shot is still black sambuca.
Oh god.
You know when you taste something and it doesn't even reach your throat before you're gagging?
Mm,
That was me in sambuca. It touched my tongue and I instantly threw my head forward to get it out of my face.
yeah,
And the
I mean, that,
bartender went, "You didn't throw that up. It looks like you just rejected it." I went, "Yeah, that was disgusting. Can I have a rag, please?" So because a lot of the shot was still in the glass because I hadn't even thrown it all in my mouth.
oh yeah,
I was
it's
like,
just the
I was
first few.
somehow mid pour when I did the action. I don't know how. It
And
was so
that's usually you want a follow up drink, something nice.
Oh, I had that. That was ready at the bar.
Ah,
I just needed a moment to recover from the
good.
lick. I didn't know it was licorice. That was. Don't give me licorice. I'm not a fan. If you haven't guessed, I mean, give me a
Ah, God.
jalapeno and I will munch that right in front of you. Give me a piece of licorice and I will throw that at you.
Yeah, I mean, it is a weird thing. Like, if you speak about licorice, like, the taste buds and like where it comes. I remember when I was a kid. Oh God, did not like that one bit. But since I got older, and I thought it's not too bad. It's not like something I'm going to go out to get. But if I was ever offered, I might try a little bit. But not. It's not my choice.
It's not for me. It's not for me. It's really low down on my list.
But
Oh,
like oh, it was only recently. It sounds so stupid, but you know tequila bottles. They've got like that little hat.
yeah, you got the wee little hat on the Oh,
Now, do you know it actually has a reason?
yeah, because it's the size of a shot.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that. Where you put like you can put the salt or the sugar, and I did not realize that. I did not. I mean, I don't really go out and buy tequila bottles, but I really didn't actually realize that was
And I
used.
think
I
it's
just thought it
really
was fancy.
cute. It's really, really cute.
Hmm. But it just caught me off. I thought like, I never thought about that. I never questioned it. I just thought, well, yes, it's made in a little sombrero. Why not? You get some stuff like that throughout different bowls. But no, it's quite amazing if you think about it. It's
Yeah,
quite
it's
a
great.
clever way. And people know you're going to use it.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna just take us back to introducing our podcast for a little bit because
Mm.
uh, if you're watching this right now, because we're also going to be uploading all our podcast episodes onto our YouTube channel. So if you miss it, it's always there. Or if you want to see what faces we're pulling, for some, because Mark is an absolute nutter sometimes.
Oh, yeah, especially in like our
And
normal
I'm not much
conversation.
better. But I forgot where I was going.
So, obviously, introducing our channel and what we're doing, podcasts is one thing. It's going to be mainly us because obviously the main game of our channel was us two talking discussions. We've got our side content out more on our channel at the minute, but that's going to change.
Yeah.
Obviously, lockdown's not helping us at the minute.
Especially, yeah. Well, I mean, originally when we were going to be thinking about doing a podcast, um, obviously the first thought would be, oh, it's fine. We'll just, we'll get into my flat where we've done most of the recordings. I've got a microphone, I've got a camera, and we were just going to we'll probably, sit at a table either side, record ourselves, having this discussion.
hmm,
But if you're watching this, you'll notice that, we're doing this on a Zoom call.
zoom, zoom, do, 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 do.
So, but this way you can see both of us, and we can still record.
Hmm.
We're making do because we really want to get the basis of our channel on the roll, and uh, I feel that a podcast is going to be quite a big thing for us.
Hmm.
So obviously this is season 1, episode 1 of the BarCast.
Oh, the BarCast. It's got a nice ring to it.
It does, and our plan for it at the moment is what we're going to attempt to do is do a bi-weekly upload, which is going to be fun because we haven't actually done any schedule for the rest of our channel yet, but we're thinking if we have this BarCast as the like every other week, we can fit in the rest of our videos, the side content, what Mark does, what I do. We can fit that in the other week, which would be funny because that's also the week we're recording the podcast. But we'll get it in over that weekend, and then we'll have weekly content for you. You'll have at least one long content every other week,
Yeah.
but 1 week you might get Mark playing a game, you might get me talking about musicians, or you could get some of our other side content.
Yeah, I mean, our mini series of our verses.
Yeah, or we'll be getting drink videos. Well, I'm also going to be doing some great quick food things. We were talking about food at the start of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Once I get recipes sorted, I will be doing short food videos for everyone to enjoy, and I will be looking at meat videos, and I'll be looking at the vegetarian or vegan alternatives because Mark and I are big people. There is no
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
And not the buff kind of big.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, not yet for you, maybe. I don't plan to be buff, but my weakness is, well, it's chicken, basically. I will eat it as hot wings. I will eat it as fried chicken. I eat it in pretty much most of my weekly meals. So, I'm not exactly Slim Jim. But I am looking at alternatives, and when I learn those, I will be sharing them because I think it's and
Yeah.
plus it'll be a lot of easy food and food you might find at some pubs.
Yeah, and that's the good thing. And also with different recipes combinations, you never know. You could be like, oh, what if I trade this item out for this item and this for this? I mean, obviously there's different types of cheesecakes you can get. You can get the bakeware ones, soft base, hard
You
base.
don't want any baked.
No,
Personal
for us, our
opinion,
preference is no baked.
no baked. You should not. The only thing that should get hot in a cheesecake is when you melt the butter, and that is it. Or if you're making caramel,
Oh yeah,
because someone I know makes me a fabulous caramel to go on top of the base, and it's perfect. But
think for mine, I usually go more fruit. So the ones that I remember growing up with is you could used to buy it from like Sainsbury's and that. It was strawberry cheesecake. It weren't too sweet. It was quite nice, and if you managed to defrost it, because obviously you could defrost it to one level and eat it, or you could leave it for the recommended time, and the fruit was just so nice. But I have tried making I think it was a lemon cheesecake at one point. I think I swapped out one ingredient for something else. Unfortunately, it didn't settle that well. I think it didn't work with another mixture, so it never set. But still had it. Still nice.
The important question is for that cheesecake, Mark, what was your base?
My base
Yes. What biscuit was the base?
Oh, digestives.
Good.
Digestives was a nice base because.
Have you tried a ginger nut base?
I mean, it was just nice.
Have you tried a ginger nut base?
No, don't think I have.
It's a different ball game.
I must try that.
Really nice. I can't choose between. If you ask me which one do I prefer, I cannot choose. It depends on the topping. But that's definitely a discussion for another time.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, we'll have our big podcast like this. I mean, we're thinking we might make smaller ones, like with different things to talk about. So obviously, as Chris was saying, we've got our big ones that it could be all mixtures of conversations in one. But we might twist the idea and make a small series of like a few categories if people were interested.
Yeah, the mini cast. The micro pubcast.
Oh damn that, yes.
Okay,
like the mini me Doctor Evil.
Yeah, the micro pubcast. If we got BarCast, you got to have the micro pub.
Yep, we got to stick with the namesake.
Yeah, and the micro pubcast. Oh,
that does sound good. Actually,
that does sound good. I'm really chuffed. That will be our shorter podcast series where we'll just have short audios for you. But literally, we're still brainstorming ideas. We're so early days with this thing.
Oh yeah, and like one thing we'll also talk about that we haven't said is going back to what Chris said. Yeah, we're getting the skinny of build people, but the other thing we are working on is we are losing weight, and obviously losing weight is different for each person, and you've got your own different goals. I mean, some people's ideal weight is one thing, and another is another. For like mine, weight is meant to be 14 stone, but someone that else I know, not either of us two, is like 10 or 11, and it's like, well, I will never get to that build because even my doctor said you're going to be 14 and a half stone at least for my body, and I haven't got a thin build. Naturally, I've got like a bolder build.
Height and your build.
Yeah,
because you're quite tall and you're also broad with it. You're just like, what are you looking at, bub?
Yeah, so I'll never be that.
Because of our current shapes, we're more like big teddy bears than going to punch you, sort of thing. We're just like, you're more likely to want to hug us than punch us.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I wouldn't want the punch, no. But as I said, like we've always done our own type of like fitness. There is where some say that the diet counts. Yes, it can help, but don't feel afraid like of avoiding some foods altogether. Each is different, and if people are interested, sooner or later we might post on what we do. We might do it on Twitter. We might do it on our own Instagrams and be like, how we do it or what we're doing. For me, if I was ever going to go to a gym, usually it would be like a rowing machine, a couple of the bikes. The rowing machine I enjoy. I don't set myself a goal. I just enjoy doing the motions of rowing. And obviously, if you get a nice fan, you get a nice breeze. You're laughing. It's just fun. Cycling. I've always enjoyed cycling. You can go anywhere on a bike, and it's just so much fun. I mean, I remember my driving instructor. My driving instructor used to say what he did is he had a fold-up bike, which obviously not everyone can do, but if you can fit your bike in your car, used to drive it to a beach, like further away, used to ride it up and down, and once he had enough, obviously drive back. So you didn't have to worry about being tired getting back home because you had the car. So you could drive back and you could still see other sites, and you didn't have to go too far. So, for example, say if you were living in Canterbury and you wanted to go to like Dover or Deals Beach, just drive down there and go along.
And for our listeners who are not local, we're talking about towns in our home county of Kent in England.
Oh yeah, sorry. Should have probably.
Canterbury is like the closest city for us other than Maidstone, which is like the capital of our little county. And Dover is, what's the White Cliffs of Dover? What it's like the main in and out of Kent.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go to France, you'll go to Dover. If you want to come into England and get to London quickly, you'll probably come through Dover. Like Dover's a very busy town for us.
Oh yeah.
So, and Deal is where we're situated, where we live. And that's all we're going to tell you about that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that's all.
That's it, because we live in like villages off the town, not even within the same town, same village. But you're in one bit, I'm in another. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Lots of villages in Deal. It's great.
Oh God, so many. Each with its own history.
We're also in the southeast of England, very southeast. We're about, in fact, we're closer to France than we are. I think we're closer to France than we are to Canterbury. Here, if you could just drive straight across the water,
potentially, yes. Yes.
I'll tell you a quick point. When I'm up on the cliffs near where my parents live, I actually get French phone signal. My phone will send me a message saying, "Welcome to France." I'm like, "Gee, thanks." I'm glad we now have European roaming, because that used to cost me a fortune when I was a kid.
Oh God, yeah, I remember when I had that. My God, did I have to change? I changed contracts though, so one that's friendlier to travelling.
You're on the boats.
Yeah, that's always a fun experience. But the main thing that you got to love though, it's like, even though it's so short from like France and that, you can see so many different people come into like the south. You get so many, like I remember being in Deal and I've met like Germans, I've met like the Italians, the French, and they're so funny to talk to. They do love a good joke.
Oh, I love the Germans. They're great. I think, especially since I've got like German cousins, and like I've got, if you've been following my Twitter at all, you'll know I've just started to pick up German as a language. So you never know. You might get a German intro to one of these podcasts later down the line. But it's been they're so great. It's just nice to be able to talk with all these different people.
Oh yeah, I remember when I went out to Germany. Went for like the October Festival, and it's just so different and such a beautiful area, and the food is so vast in what you could ask for. If any of you are fans of beer and that, their beers are less gassy. Equivalent, I could say, was almost like drinking like an orange juice or apple juice, that feeling where it goes down so smooth, and
Oh,
it
I
was
thought you
so
were gonna
different.
go for like the ciders that just come, like flat
Mm,
cider, where it
mm,
actually comes without bubbles.
yeah, and it was just amazing, like how different it was. Because obviously, if most people would probably have drunk in like Stella or Budweiser, and that is gassy, and you couldn't always like drink that as quick. Obviously, I know some people can. It's insane that they do it, but when it came to Germany, like you could drink it and it was just so nice. It was almost like liquid honey. Um, it the best way. It was so nice you could drink it, and it really went well with food.
Oh, to be fair, I have to say the Germans are great with food. I mean,
Mm.
when I went to Germany, they had the bratwurst. Obviously, they turned that into currywurst, which is just great. You have to have a currywurst if you're in Germany.
Almost sounds like a universe, like curryverse.
Yeah, currywurst. And then their sauerkraut is obviously it's top notch because it's where it's from.
Mm.
And I think my personal favorite was the how they just served like veal and like they do veal really nicely over there.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, like, and it's really good just walking around and like looking at the different foods that they have because their supermarkets have got such a different to what we would have over here. Um, I mean, sausages. You think sausages just going to be meat in that, but some of them had like cheese inside.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
so like when you were to cut into it, it would still be like liquidy. It wouldn't be like hard cheese. Like if you were, it would still be like liquidy. So when you cut in, because I remember when I was out there, we had like three sausages on top, and it was like sliced up potatoes on the bottom with like a nice garlic sauce, and then you had the sausages on top. And and when you cut into it, obviously the cheese came out. So you had such a mixture there, and between the creaminess of the sauce and the potatoes, and that was quite nice. And then you had the sensation of the sausage. So it was.
way the sensation of the sausage.
I was expecting something like that.
Like if you give me an innuendo, like, I am going to pounce on that, and that's what she said.
I'm not saying anything because
Yeah,
I can be so crude, but I'm not yet.
you're going to behave yourself.
At least for the first episode. Have
Yeah,
to for the first episode.
we've got to behave ourselves a little bit.
A wee bit. A wee bit.
Aye, just a wee bit. We don't want to scare you off just yet.
No, not yet. I mean, we've got plenty of time to do that.
Exactly. I mean, no, it's been a really fun time just talking about food and drink and everything we're going to discuss in the future with our channel.
Oh yeah, and like another thing as well is it's interesting making a channel in its own right. It's you do have to plan, but don't feel like you have to concrete yourself for something. That's what when we were planning what we wanted to do in that, we were thinking, how do you get in? How do we want to go through things? What content do we want to bring? And we would watch videos of what people would recommend. And the best video we watched when we first came up with the idea was a guy that's just saying, don't worry about the equipment. Post content that you have fun in. Because sure, you could have all the most expensive technology and all of that at the start.
But if it's
But
not fun, what's the point?
no, and you want to start somewhere, and it's a platform where obviously you can express yourself. You want to have fun, and you want to do stuff you enjoy. You don't necessarily want to feel like a cage.
You've got to have good time.
Oh, you do. Of course you do.
You must always have fun in what you do because otherwise, what is point?
Indeed. I still love that voice. It just reminds me of like the game characters that you come across.
Yes, I can't even remember where that voice was born, but that is something you will occasionally hear us do during these chats. one of us will just get a little bit sidetracked, and then
A voice
without
comes out.
even knowing, a little voice will come and talk to you.
Pretty much, and it's natural. You've all done it, and you'll hear it many times.
Yeah, it's I mean, really, we're just here to have fun.
Mm.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have like some sort of schedule, otherwise the two of us can ramble on for Britain.
Oh,
But
without a doubt.
or without a doubt. But do feel free to ask us to talk about things because we will talk. I mean, I'm not particularly good at it, but even if it goes political, we will discuss it because if you can talk about it in a pub, we can talk about it on a podcast.
Oh, indeed.
So, and we will be saying this, we will quite happily hit more adult topics.
Mm.
And yes, there'll be innuendos aplenty. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, half time we've had a serious conversation and we've just made it innuendo or a pun, and it's just broken apart. But
yeah,
um,
we
it
will.
just lightens the mood.
Yeah, we'll try and keep on topic if we can, but honestly, half the time we will just lose track of what we're saying and just make a joke of something. And we mean no malicious intent if we say something offensive. Just we will be watching these podcasts obviously before we upload.
Yep, but we'll never go over any boundaries or
No,
anything.
and if we offend anyone, I mean we are sorry, but please, no, we do mean everything with jest.
Yeah, we never mean serious, and if we do offend, we will apologise for it because own up, and not everyone agrees with everything,
Yeah,
and
we
everyone
will
has to
be
accept that.
saying unpopular opinions.
I mean, for example, if I wanted to be an evil genius and take over the world, and
You'll
Chris didn't agree with that, well, I would have to respect his opinion. But I'm still going to take over the world.
no, though if you try to be an evil genius and try to take over the world, just know I will stop you.
You know, you might
It
join
wouldn't
me.
just be me, I would just get your exes involved.
Oh, God.
And I think that would win.
Maybe, but I think
Just the weight of a particular area of one of them will win.
Yes. Yes. Fair point. Fair point.
I'm sorry, that was a bit of an inside joke for us, but the point will still stand.
Oh, yeah. If it stands in a way, it's like various elements. But they have to get me back at somewhere.
Yeah.
Because usually I get at, obviously, Chris and a couple of my other friends, but then they can use that against me. That's something that they have that I can't exactly argue with.
Exactly. And speaking of our friends, once lockdown is over, we will be doing bigger podcasts, and we will, introduce some of them, and we'll include them in our conversations. Like, we might do like a podcast episode, and poof, we have so and so from here. Like, it'll mostly be local friends to start with. We'll have to get Scott on.
Oh, yeah. Without doubt.
Without a doubt. For context, if you follow my Twitter, Scott is like my manager. He watches everything I do, and just basically he's a harsh son of a bitch sometimes.
That's what you need. You do need a friend like that.
He does keep me on track. He gets like the first reading of all my blogs, and he will become a grammar checker, and he will check all the wording and everything. So he's also so awkward sometimes, it's hilarious. And he will also, what he doesn't know about animals, he is a complete. So if we have like a versus of like animals versus technology, and if we bring that back, I feel like Scott would make the perfect judge. Or maybe I would be the judge and Mark would be the tech guy, and Scott would be the animal guy, because to be fair, he's the perfect person for that discussion.
And like, yeah,
he knows,
he is our expert basically.
he is our animal expert.
Mm.
Also,
Yeah,
we talk about musicals, so he and I will talk music. Right.
Mm.
And we got friends that also do games. I've got a friend that does tech, so he does coding and things like that. So yeah, he might be interesting. I used to do swimming with him a few years back, so he'll be quite a fun person to bring on.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is,
Just anyone, and if you are local to us and and we like you and we find you funny or interesting, you will probably end up on the podcast at some point.
yeah,
If not season 1, then definitely season 2.
and
That's really ambitious for me to say season 2, isn't it?
yeah, because you can make a season last however you want.
Exactly. But this is at the moment we're the stay at home because of Corona season.
Right. Well, on the high life, lockdown is starting to ease up. I mean, the latest I heard is holidays are starting to come back now. So
Yeah, we got holidays. Hairdressers are gonna be open again from next week, which is awesome because I haven't had a haircut since January, and I normally have short hair, and it's down past my earlobes, and it's just, and my family are known for having thick hair, and with the weather being hot and muggy, I am melting. I'm melting. So I
yeah,
can't wait next week where I can have a haircut and just like
we'll go back to
cool
being
off.
back to looking smarter than we usually do.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, for me, I just braved the element and did the lockdown cut. So I used what I used to shave my beard with a grid and decided, right, take this off. But not to a ridiculously short level. I chose to keep it at a 3.
you do realize a beard 3 is different to a hair 3.
Yeah, that's why I tried to try and work out and get a longer head for.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
no, I didn't use the official like the beard like measurement on the hair. No. I used
Because
the proper ones for doing hair.
I keep my beard at a number 4 because it's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's just a good length.
I think for me, I was experimenting at first. I weren't sure if to go it long, but then I don't like it too long. I mean, in probably one of the first videos, probably in our intro video, I had the beard at a nice level.
Yeah,
I think I just had it along there. I didn't have any hair there. So I think I'll probably get rid of that, cut that down, because I think it was just going along here.
You're really painting a really good picture for our audio listeners here. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here. He was pointing around the side of like the.
Oh, it's around here.
To his sideburns, and he was going to cut, so it was just a bit up his neck a bit more.
Mm.
So it was basically more on his chin than his neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically get rid of up to about there, I'd say.
What's this guy on? He's just like pointing to me. Like, this is a podcast. Not everyone can see this.
Well, maybe they have to see the channel and they will see what I'm doing.
They have to watch nearly an hour of content just to watch you poking yourself in the throat.
Oh, trust me, it's the best scene.
No, they're really going to come for me, playing with my hair.
Well, you never know. They might do.
No, they probably won't. Well, 2 might. 2 might.
But no, I mean, the one thing is, obviously, originally Chris grew a beard, and then I never thought about doing it at one point. Yeah, I always liked the idea, but I never thought about doing it. And then Chris was almost like the motivation that I had. I thought, right, one time I might actually grow it. And obviously, yeah, takes a while at first, and you're going to get patches.
No. Not for me.
Okay.
Most people get patches. Chris,
Okay.
you're a good.
Chris, the real life bear, like you grow a beard, and then there's like
I
me that
can
grew
grow a
in
beard
different
from
things.
like just under my eye all the way down. Like, that's how you work with audio and video. Or,
Right, right.
like I had my finger, I drew a line across like my eye.
For me, though, I think the main thing that I can get is mine. I could get really good stubble. Like it would suit me even in like business. It used to work so well that people used to hate the fact that I would get away with stubble because it suited me at work. So from when I'm wearing like my shirt, the waistcoat, and that, even if it like looked like a after clock shadow and stuff, it suited what I looked like.
Yeah, even if it's
Unfortunately,
like 5 o'clock shadow.
unfortunately, people didn't like that. They used to bring it up because there used to be a policy of like clean shaven. So the fact that
You
I
have
got
to be
away with
baby
it,
faced the whole time.
so I had to then purposely shave it all the time, even though it suited me.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
kind of sucky.
but the fact is, but nowadays I've had the beard. I like it, and I've been trying out different styles with it, and I'll think, well, I'm going to go back to getting rid of it from the neck. But we've talked enough for one of our barcasts,
And
so I do thank you all.
you know, if you've made it this far, we thank you from the bottom of our guts. We would say our hearts, but our guts are bigger.
Oh, indeed.
And generally, the intestines are the longest part of the body, other than the skin, obviously.
Mm.
That's a weird fact to throw out there.
Fact of the day, folks. Fact of the
Fact
day.
of the day: the largest organ on
Mm.
the body is the skin. But
And as you can see, as we mentioned before, we do ramble, and this happens so naturally to us. But we must have an end for the
yeah,
first one.
all things come to an end, which
Right.
is sad. But then all things start anew, and that's how.
Right, the sun goes
And I
down, the
just
sun comes up.
paraphrased Doctor Who,
Dun, 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 dun,
which
dun,
we
dun, dun, dun.
might talk about in our next episode. You never know,
Doo-doo,
which will be in
doo-doo-doo.
2 weeks. Please hold us to that. It'll
If
be
we don't, do comment and make sure we do.
our target release date is going to be July 18th, and we will see you. Well, you will hear us another day.
Aye.
Thanks for watching. I'm Chris. I'm the singer,
I'm Mark, I'm the gamer, and
and
peace
we're
out.
both drinkers.
Oh, of course.
So catch you later, folks.
Bye.